Let's go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining day 3 of the CRIO Partner Expo. This is our last day of recruiting partners that we're going to hear from. And then tomorrow we will hear from our site operations partners. So really quick running through the agenda. First, we are going to hear from OMNI CRS from George Lott. Then we're going to hear from Patient Qualifier, then OpenPath, and then Ripple Science. So we have 4 presentations for you guys here today. I am your host, Nikki Gandhi, CRIO Community Manager and Head of the Partners Program, and I have Andrew Davidson here from our marketing team as well assisting me. So without further ado, George, go ahead and take it away. Let me just spotlight you. All right, go ahead.
Awesome. Great to meet everybody. Thanks, Nikki. As she mentioned, my name is George Lott. I'm the Clinical Business Development Manager for OMNI CRS. We are a patient recruitment organization, and our focus is to deliver high-intent patients for your right studies at scale. Let's see here. So this is a little bit about what we're going to talk about today. So who we are and why it matters, targeting the right patients, where our leads come from, our core channels, the approach we use to reach those patients that you need for your studies, the patient journey from ad engagement to referral, how we actually convert the patients from a lead to a randomized patient, our lead flow process, referral data and compliance, what we actually send to the sites and sponsors, some logic for our screeners, pre-screening details, and how we handle personal information, and then a little bit about the tech and integration, so our sample screener walkthrough, and then how we have actually used the API integration with CRIO. So OMNI CRS, we're a leading performance-based digital patient recruitment organization. So we work with the full gambit in this sector. So we work with sites, CROs, sponsors. And so our goal is to give high intent referrals that convert into randomized patients so we can fill studies faster. And how we do that is through our large internal database. We do some internal media buying, as well as our partnerships with vetted third-party marketers in our network. And I think we all know, the path to patient recruitment is rarely straightforward, if ever. It's filled with bumps in the road and obstacles that require some very strategic planning and adaptability at times. So this is what we've kind of delineated here is the main pain points that we see in the industry: patient survey fatigue, clear tracking and attribution of the actual leads, lead quality issues, cost effectiveness, and the like. So these are all the main problems that we look to fix here at OMNI. And we've been successfully recruiting studies since 2018. So we work currently in 33 plus therapeutic areas. I think it's up to around 39 now. To date, since 2018, we've had 832,000 qualified referrals. We've completed 500 plus studies, and our pre-screening pass rate from lead gen to pre-screening is 85% plus on the high end regularly. Where do the leads actually come from? So here at OMNI, we have an integrated channel strategy. So our goal is to find those high intent patients where they actually live, work, and engage. So most people nowadays are on social media, they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, kind of doom scrolling through the internet. So we meet them where they are. We have mobile ads, desktop ads, social ads as well. We use aggregator sites as well as emails and newsletters, and then some kind of native niche placements of ads as well. And so kind of anywhere where patients are living day to day, that's where we find them at. These are some of our samples of unique therapeutic areas that we work in and some of the studies that we run. These are, I would say, the top ones that we've been in most recently, where most of our patients come from. So we work with many different sites right now that are working in a lot of therapeutic areas. I don't think that we've found one therapeutic area that we can't find patients for. So if you've got hard to fill studies or something that's kind of lacking enrollment, let us know and we can find those patients for you. And then how do we measure success here? So here at OMNI, we're doing performance-based marketing. So the commission is based solely on performance. There's no upfront fees like some of our other competitors. So we utilize a couple different models. We're really flexible on that and we're adaptable. I think that's what sets OMNI apart, so that we can find those patients and not cost sites a lot of money up front. Our automated process, the sites and the CROs and all of our other partners have complete control over the creative marketing materials and the messaging. So we make sure that the integrity of your study stays intact as we find those patients. We also have an internal department for traffic quality and a proprietary software. So we survey and monitor all of the leads that we get in to make sure there's no fraudulent leads or false traffic. I think that's really important to keep, those patients super high quality. And then make sure that they make their way all the way to the site once they get the lead is generated. And then we also have a growth manager that works with any of our partners to collaborate, on benchmarks and ensure that performance is meeting their expectations and their metrics, whether it's from lead generation to screening, from lead generation to randomization. We have our growth manager that tracks all those milestones so we can keep track of the study as it goes along. And we're going to jump into a little bit about the patient journey and some of the UX design here. So this is what the ads look like. So we've got a couple different examples here, some native ads, meta ads, which would be on Instagram or Facebook, and then some banner ads, which they would see scrolling through the internet. Excuse me. And through Q2, as of right now, we've had 90,000 plus referrals delivered with an average pre-screen to referral rate of 89%. And the patient's journey, how it works is the targeted ad is shown based on demographics and indication. We build that directly off of the protocol's inclusion and exclusion criteria. It's also geo-targeted, so really close to where the enrolling site is. The patient engages with the ad and they're directed to a screener or a qualifying page and then directly to the screener after that. This is a little bit about the screener build out. As you see from left to right, so this is the first page that the patient sees. It has the type of study it is, their basic contact information. As we move on to the second image, this is the actual kind of INE criteria that we use to build out the screeners. We work directly with the CRO or the site to, have the most cohesive questions that we can so that we get the most high qualified leads out of these screeners. The PII is held intact with our compliance. This, like I said, the questions are based on study parameters, and then everything is geo-targeted for proximity to the site. So that's within 30 to 50 miles. That's what we normally focus on. And then a thank you page to the patients as well that gives the direct contact information to whoever's running the study. So if the patient wants to reach the site directly, they have that ability, which I think is important. And then this is a little bit about our API integration with CRIO. So what this really does for sites is it shaves down that workflow. If you are a CRIO site using CRIO, we have seamless data delivery and integration. I think that's really important. So the biggest part, of course, is the automated referral transfer. So as soon as we find a lead generated for a trial, we can instantly send those pre-screened patients directly into CRIO. That saves a lot of time for the patient engagement and the recruitment teams on site. They don't have to go hunting for those leads or log in, excuse me, or log into a different system to retrieve those leads or get them sent as a raw file or an Excel spreadsheet and then import them into CRIO, which is just a bunch of extra steps. So that's the biggest takeaway, I think, from the integration, which is great. It's secure and compliant, so it's HIPAA compliant. Well, we have encrypted data transmission with our own audit trails, custom mapping. So we have flexible data formatting, so we can match your intake fields and workflows, whichever fields you want ported over, we can have those. Real-time updates, so we push new leads as they come in. The status changes if a patient has been referred or enrolled into a study or randomized. We can see that referral activity in real time, which I think is great for us and great for the site. Two-way communication, so we enable feedback loops for status updates, enrollment progress, and then it's definitely scalable. So we're designed to support multi-site and multi-study configurations. So if you are an individual site or you're a network that has 20 sites, we can make it work either way. So that's really great. And then across multiple studies, I came from working at a site network, smaller one. So, we had 20 studies at a time. So whether you've got 2 studies or 20 studies, I think the integration makes it super easy for you guys to get those high intent patients in real time. We've got about 5 minutes left. So if anybody has any questions, I'll open it up for questions now. If anybody wants me to go back to any slides, feel free to drop a question in there. I can go back. But here's our contact information. always looking forward to people reaching out. If you have any questions, you can contact us directly. And yeah, we appreciate CRIO holding this, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'll give it a few seconds to see if anyone has any questions for George or the OMNI CRS team. And if you do have questions or you think of them later, you can always find OMNI CRS's listing in the CRIO partner directory as well. You could submit an inquiry directly through there via the Contact Us button. You can again enable integration with OMNI CRS with the click of a button via the listing as well. So thank you, George. We appreciate it. And we will meet back here in about 10 minutes at 11:20 Eastern time. Thanks.
Thanks, Nikki.
Thank you.